once you get.
You may.
Okay. All right.
So the next item isn't an action item, but I wanna, along 45th East, there's this shed on it. And it has been in place for a very long time. The road was actually platted as 40 feet wide back in 1976. And that right of way cuts pretty much right in half of it.
Did he get a building permit?
I have no idea whether they actually got a permit.
Which shed is it?
This is on.
I was just looking at one of these yesterday.
It was Rodney Brown was the owner of it. Rodney.
Is it the one that's cinder block on the outside?
Yes.
Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah.
So HK, have you seen what they've drawn on it?
Well, that was a joke. That was a joke.
I was gonna say there's an orange paint
Yeah,
line down the middle. On one side says remove,
Yeah.
and the other side says save.
That was HK.
That's what we
kinda
were talking about
playing a
yesterday.
joke. He's like, we can't take down half of it. So the right-of-way negotiator, we didn't need to purchase any right-of-way from him. The right-of-way negotiator did talk to him quite a while ago and told him that the county wasn't going to compensate him for anything.
That's why I'm wondering.
I'm
guessing.
I'll
he
look
didn't
and
get
see if
building
there's a permit.
Okay.
I didn't get that far yesterday. We were just talking about it last night.
That puts you in a better position to negotiate if you build it without a permit.
Yeah.
So that's, if you can let me know, but the question that's come up is the owner of the property now, it's not Rodney, it's his wife. She may or may not be able to understand everything that's going on, but she wants compensated for this. Her brother-in-law has gone through and got some bids and stuff like that. He's got a bid from Cleary Building to replace a structure. It's actually taller than this, although it's the same footprint. But they're wanting like $43,000 for it.
Well,
Half of that is in the right of way.
If it was built in the right of way without a permit, they never permitted it, then we don't have any responsibility for it.
So if you can let me know whether there was a permit, Bill,
Yeah, I'll
if
look.
there was a permit, kind of what do I do?
I think we have to compensate for it if there was a permit.
For at least a half of it that, yeah.
I think for the entire shed, I don't know how you take half of it.
Well, half of it has been in the right of way, in the road since 1976.
Let's see, if we got a permit, they would have done setback. And did we have the setback the same? That's some things to look at. What was
Should have been.
required
It's
setback?
been pretty much the same since '59. It really changed very slightly, so it just depends on when that was built.
But if we did permit it, and even though they don't have the setback, that was our mistake then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would have.
Then
to-
we'd have to probably do
okay.
something.
So if you can let me know what to do there, I would appreciate it.
I just sent myself an email, so when I get back, I'll look plans.
Okay. The next item I want to talk about is the transportation plan. You've had a couple weeks to look over it. I haven't received any comments back.
I mean, I don't have enough expertise to really comment very well. It all appeared right to me.
Okay.
It made sense to me,
But
I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah. One of the things that's in there that needs kind of some special attention is the amount of money needed per year for maintenance. And that plan is calling for $3 million a year. Right now,
What do you mean for maintenance?
for maintenance purposes, between chip seal and reconstruction, rehabilitation, things like that. Right now, we have $800,000 in road special, and we have $450,000 in road oil. That's kind of those earmarked for
But does
maintenance.
that plan lock you into anything? Is it a BMPO thing?
So it doesn't lock us into BMPO. What it does is trying to say our remaining service life or what the condition of the roads is. In order to keep it there from getting worse, we're going to need at least $3 million a year.
And who came up with that figure? That was the
Keller
engineer.
Associates,
Keller's, yeah. So,
And if you don't
Yeah.
meet that, what,
If we don't meet the $3 million a year, our remaining service life on the condition of the roads
right,
steadily drops.
which it's doing now,
Yeah.
but I mean, is it just kind of a target, that you just do the best you can with what you got?
So, yes and no. The $3 million is projected to keep our remaining service life at an adequate level. And not great, not new, but an adequate level.
I know, but is there any funding that's gonna be in jeopardy if you don't meet that? You
No.
haven't adopted in the plan?
Not directly, no.
What's indirectly?
Indirectly is if you're not following the transportation plan that you've outlined, you say you're not following your plan. And there is a point system in most of these applications that talks about that. So if we're not following the plan, we'll lose a few points off of all of those applications.
Like
for future
LTAC,
budget.
the way they score those?
Yeah. Now, it's not a lot of points, but it's points.
Yeah, but you get points for having a plan, right?
We get points for having a plan, yeah.
In fact, you almost have to have a plan to even get on the list.
Yeah, well, we haven't had a plan,
I
we've
know.
still got on the list, but, it certainly gives us a few more points if we have a plan that's currently adopted.
so you've been spending less than half that, less than half of 3 million,
We've been
right?
spending roughly the 1.2.
You're right. So if you spent the 3 million, what more would you do? What would that be spent on?
A lot more would be spent on more miles of road to chip seal.
Okay.
So the chip seal list, and we just went through this with KR the other day, he had down the roads that he considered for being chip sealed, and there was over 70 miles this year. But funding wise, we can only afford to do about 33 to 34 miles.
But one year, didn't we throw some one-time money into
We did,
kind of catching up?
yeah. Last year, we did almost 70 miles. But we ended up spending quite a bit more than the money that we
How
had.
much more to chip seal?
Well, last year, we spent close to that $800,000 because we had pre-purchased the oil from the year before. So last year, we spent close to 2 million. It was 1.6 just for chip seal, but for the patching and stuff like that, we did another 50 or 60,000.
Speaking of that, not to divert, but that sewer project that the city of Ammon did along 45th East,
Yeah,
that paving they put over the top of
on
that,
45th East or on Ammon Road?
it was on 45th East by the roundabout. Because they were doing a sewer project on their mini roundabout.
Oh, okay. I don't-
Was that them that put that pavement back?
That was probably them. If it was near the mini roundabout, it would be them.
It's a little bit to the south of that. You may want to look at that.
That was the city of Ammon project.
Yeah, I don't know who inspected that.
Runs right in front of 21st,
21st.
just south of that.
Yeah.
That would be the city of Ammon.
Boy, that's rough.
Yeah, it's bad.
They should, and I know 45th is not in great shape because of that sewer thing, but we've got a lot of that fixed, but this is terrible.
Yeah. I can remind them about that.
Yeah.
Their trenches on Ammon Road, south of Sunnyside, are not good either.
Yeah, they need to fix that, because there's no plan to redo 45th in that area for us.
Not anytime soon.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the other, if we had some one-time money, you know, to dedicate that, you know, from those project monies.
Yeah, but it's not one-time money.
This is
It's
Seal
every
coat
year.
is- well, The
consistent.
seal coat is because it's a catch-up.
But in order to meet the transportation plan, it would be an every year thing.
Be able to meet the transportation plan.
Right.
And plow roads, and do everything else.
Right.
Is
Well,
that-
and that's why I'm specifically bringing it up
Is it negotiable at all? I mean, can we change that number?
so I
to
think
2
we
million?
can change that. What it does though is our remaining service life goes down over time and the condition of the overall system network decreases over time. And we get to a point where we have more and more of the roads that need a total rebuild or reconstruct, rather than we go in and we chip seal it and make it last another 7-8 years.
I know engineering is, nice in the engineering world. But reality, you know, those lines intersect someplace.
And they do, and I know that they intersect, I just don't want them to intersect at the point where more than 50% of our roads need total rebuild.
But that's the idea of catching up like we did before, because you slowly fall behind on the chip seal. You know, if you get the maintenance up, it flattens that curve a little bit, but not, you know, it's not gonna be as ideal as that plan.
Yeah. And that's why I'm bringing it up.
So you do have the capacity to do about 70 miles?
No, with the cost the way they are, we can do about 33 to 34 miles.
But if you had some one-time money, do you have the ability to do that many?
We could schedule it in, yes.
Okay.
It gets harder to do, but yes, we have the equipment, we have the time in the summer to be able to do the chip seal for approximately 70 miles. It's just, to get to 70 miles is gonna take significantly more money than what we have as a continuing basis.
Okay, let us kind of throw that in the whole thinking pot.
Okay.
When does the transportation plan have to be finalized and signed off on?
So it doesn't have to be finalized anytime per se, but they want to wrap up the project. They want to get it to a point where now it's an adopted plan. And Keller Associates is hoping that within, well, they were hoping by the end of March,
Didn't we get funding to do that plan?
we did get funding to do the plan. And that funding, the urban or the rural portion of it has run out. We've gone over that. And so,
Probably ought to just wrap it up.
Yeah, but I'm uneasy adopting the plan knowing that we're not gonna spend $3 million any year, probably.
Well, the only purpose for adopting the plan is to get more points on projects.
well, it also gives us
you-
marching orders for which
It gives
section.
you goals, not necessarily marching orders.
Yeah,
But
that's,
could we make those goals more realistic and roll that back to 2.5 million or 2 million? Because then it's something that,
I'm not sure that's doable, you know? I mean, we do have, you know, this new funding, but that's gonna get eaten up by inflation. You know, cause we left that cushion there for other projects. See, we'll have that, you know, cause what I was thinking about is this whole pot of money that we're looking at 45th. And, you know, some other things we put in our budget to build reserves. You know, maybe you take another $1 million and get the 70 miles. Yeah, it kicks the can down the road a little while, but I don't know if you're ever gonna catch up to the can. You know?
and it's a significant funding problem for
Everybody.
everybody. It's just, we get more and more complaints about the condition of our roads.
Is is there any way, and I didn't look at the exact wording on that, but is there any way you can say, it would be suggested, that it would take this much?
I think that's what it is it's a
It's a
suggestion
suggestion, yeah.
Okay,
to keep the road service life at this level, you're gonna need this
Right.
amount of money.
Okay, well, that's a little different than I understood it.
because,
Yeah.
you know, because that's
I didn't remember.
when I was on LTAC and we used to score those, I mean, that was the big discussion, is getting the plans so you can qualify for more of those.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm fine.
Which roads are you talking about that you're getting complaints on the condition of the roads? I mean, what roads are those?
well, so 45th East is one that we get complaints on all the time, but it's south of First Street as well. 15th East, 25th East, north of town, between the highway and.
You're not talking capacity, you're talking
I'm
condition.
talking condition,
Yeah.
yeah. But there's, in that report, it goes through and lists the remaining service life of a lot of those roads, and it lists those projects in there for what ones need to be totally rebuilt, or what ones could be done with a chip seal, and that's why the appendices and the map are in the back, and to show what all of those roads are.
But then it's a policy decision. If they said it has to be done, well, let's just chip seal and extend the life as long as we can, because we've done that on several.
We have done it, and yeah, we are band-aiding roads. We partnered with the city of Idaho Falls to redo Crestwood, otherwise Crestwood would be in a very sad state right now.
Yeah, that was underbuilt to begin with.
Yeah,
Crestwood.
or what it was,
Where's Crestwood?
just across from the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
That's that one, yeah.
That age-old
Yeah,
problem road.
but see, that's the pressure you get from growth of the city if they don't help you take care of it, because, you know, they accelerate the problems, because that's
Yeah.
what happened on Crestwood.
They tied onto it and all the truck
All the
traffic started
traffic,
going
yeah.
through there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with what you think. Seems to me like it would make more sense to roll that number back.
We could, but, don't they keep charging you every time they have to go through and reanalyze? If you set the goal
Well,
at 2
yes.
million, and then how many
Oh,
years?
so
Yeah.
they have to redo it?
They would have to redo it, but that would be a very minor change and wouldn't take them hardly any time.
What's your recommendation? Should we adopt it with that number, or should?
My recommendation is, if we adopt it with a number, we need to try to find a way to get the number as close to that as we can.
Well, then roll it back to a couple of million.
That's what I
Because you
would
gotta-
say.
You at least got a shot at trying to get close to that.
Yeah. So if we do it at 2 million, I mean, it'll adjust some of the charts and the lifespan and
Well,
stuff like that, but it,
See, the study is probably including 45th East, and we're putting a lot of money into that. So that extends the life of that for,
of that road segment, yeah.
right,
But if you look at the appendices, there's a lot of other road segments out there that are miles and miles and miles of road that show an improvement needed.
it's still gonna be a matter of whoever's sitting in these offices in 10 years to set priorities, just like Gene Hicks pointed out in his editorial, why is the city doing Woodruff at 17th Street when they should be, well, which one was it, Woodruff at
And,
First Street?
Lincoln. Woodruff and Lincoln.
Yeah, you're always gonna take that flag.
Well, and they have Woodruff and Lincoln in the, from Lincoln Road down to the Meppin Canal is one of their projects in there that they just increased the budget on quite a bit.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention to you, I don't know if you picked it up when the state was in here on that, realignment project. We talked about going through Hatch Pit.
Yeah.
He kinda said, well, we're revisiting that. I'm wondering if it doesn't have to do with Idaho Falls not being willing to kind of cooperate with them and driving the cost out. just something he said.
He
maybe.
indicated, yeah, and he said it's good news. He said, you'll like the news or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
mean, kinda like, okay, you know, cause see, that changes their numbers if they go through and rezone all that,
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, I will get with Keller Associates and have them change that back to the roughly the 2 million mark. And
I mean, I hope that doesn't add a huge cost to that killer.
it shouldn't add a huge cost to changing the plan, but, we'll get them to do that and get that back
And then
before
get it
you.
wrapped up.
Yeah, get it wrapped up.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't know if you wanna talk any more about the Palisades Creek Road lot.
Can you pull that up, cause I'm glad
You wanna do it, Austin?
Yeah.
I'm glad you reminded me. Cause
That works out really well when you.
the lot we own,
Mhm.
we're probably gonna put that up for sale. Yeah, because I don't know why we own it.
Well, I think the original reason is make sure we get that access, and if we can do it
Well,
through
it was
a permanent easement.
It was a validated road.
What's the meeting ID?
You know,
I'm
as
drawing
far
a
as
blank on the
277.
phone.
208-529-1360.
I have no idea why, but it's the only lot in there that accesses off Palisade Creek, but
There was one other lot I thought it said that accessed off too, but I can't remember.
but anyway, yeah, I think we need to, before we can sell it, we wanna get the dedicated easement and sell the balance of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
That won't be hard to do. I'd like to get eyes on that northeast corner pin to make sure we're not shooting ourselves in the foot and it covers what we need it to.
Is this on our agenda for today?
Yeah.
What is it?
There you go, the dedicated easement.
Is that for this? Okay.
Okay, so you're okay with,
Well, we haven't, so
You can,
legal
you can let
description
him
of
look
it,
at that.
we wanna double check the legal description of it to make sure that it's gonna be,
yeah, cause it'll take us a little bit to get it advertised, and apparently that lot is buildable.
Can you bring that map up, Austin?
Yeah.
do we want it down?
Do you want it on Google Maps or?
Yeah, if you can bring it up and just make sure,
Not necessarily.
cause if it,
70 feet. so
Okay.
it'd be-
I wanna make sure that, does it take it all the way to the corner?
Yeah, it'd be the easterly 60 feet of that lot one.
So does that include all of this or just out here?
Just
You can bring it up,
So you're
that'll
just-
help
you're just
land.
Yeah, I'll pull it
Taking
up
it
just a
off the
second.
plat, legals.
It's already there. Yes. Just trying to bring it up on Google, but I'll just pull it up in parcel view.
Yeah.
That covers
As long as that covers the road, I guess. And I guess,
So when we sell it, we sell it on the platted lot, subject to that easement,
it.
right?
Right.
So we probably need to get that recorded. So we're okay with that?
Yeah, it's on our calendar to sign today,
Yeah,
so.
Okay.
Scott looked at it too.
Should that be in a motion?
Yeah,
So I'll make that motion, Kayla.
and I'll second it. So I guess that makes the only two of us in favor.
none of you are opposed.
Okay, zoom out so we can see trail view. One of the problems they're having up there is, you know, that road that goes through the subdivision up to the, I can't remember the landowner's name, but it, you know, it's Marvin Weeks and some of those around there, and stops, that directly north is the Forest Service. And the
Okay.
problem the homeowners have had in there, you know, now that they're getting a few houses built, you know, cause they've got another couple in there that are on Google Maps that we don't have pictures of.
Okay.
But the, people go up there, park along the road, camp, take their trailers and leave them all day. You know, they've even been to the point of blocking off a driveway. We talked to the sheriff about what they can do. And he says that because the deputy up there told the lady, the head of the homeowners association, that we cannot ticket it for 48 hours. So I think that was a miscommunication either on his part or her part. But talked to Tony, and we talked to Scott about it. He said, and this is a little different than a lot of roads that we do this to. He says if we put a sign down there at the entrance of that, that says no parking on the road, by order of the Wandale County Commissioners. Tony said the deputy would feel very good about his ability to just write tickets. Because I think it's just a limited number, but they go up there, they'll camp, they've got some homes up there with cameras, and people come across their property dragging deer out. But you know, the homeowners association is gonna have to put a sign up there that says private property, nothing on the road, private property, no
No trespassing.
and they could even put no camping.
Yeah.
They could take, if you try to look at the topography up at the end of that, you know, it looks like it comes up a little bit of you couldn't drive a vehicle in there to get to the Forest Service, but you could take a four-wheeler. Well, somebody could go down and park their trailer down there and ride a four-wheeler up there if they want. But I don't think that's motorized, you know, so that'd be up to the Forest Service.
Well, and having them parked along Palisades Creek Road itself is not a great idea either, because that's pretty narrow.
Do we want to do they park on Palisades Creek Road?
Well, if you prevent them from parking up in the subdivision, what's gonna happen is what you're saying is they're gonna park on Palisades Creek and drive the four-wheeler up.
Well, see,
You
they've
got
got the
those
parking lots
up there.
up there.
Well, that parking lot is for the trailhead for Palisades Creek Trail.
But down below, they've got place for trailers. That lower parking lot, and if you can look in there, they've got places that,
For the Forest Service ground, yeah, there is some areas.
and if they don't have parking there, but maybe if we start with this, and then if we have a problem on Palisades, you know, we can come down to the lower part of that. Cause this isn't one of those deals like we dealt with Dave Kuhn over there. You know, where if they have an event and all other people that visit them park in the cul-de-sac. These guys up in that subdivision, if they have an event, they've got plenty of room on those lots to have people park there.
Okay.
So could we get a sign?
I'll look at seeing what kind of sign we could do and what it would say on there. Make sure you're okay with the wording.
Yeah. Just by order of Wandale County Commissioners.
Okay.
No street part or road parking, I don't know what you'd
No
call it.
parking, yeah,
No parking on road.
okay. I can put something together and just
Okay.
send it over to make sure you're okay with the wording.
Yeah, cause it'll probably be an issue this summer again.
Okay.
I wanna hear Lance's, take on the discussion you had with city planning and zoning on area of impact?
There was a lot of areas that they are wanting in their area of impact that are already got county growth, county subdivisions and stuff in, and yet they're not interested in extending city services to any of those places. So, I don't know, I don't understand the purpose, if they're gonna have it in their area of impact, not to make plans to extend city services and make them annex.
Yeah.
There was a lot of ground.
And I'm sure they had an answer to whether or not they're going to extend city services.
In some areas, I think they have answers, but along especially where the Ursa line goes, they were hesitant to answer that directly, of whether they would only allow somebody to come in with City of Idaho Falls water and City of Idaho Falls power, and not City of Idaho Falls sewer.
Because they don't have a policy. The mayor said they did, but when Brad checked on it, he said, well, we talked about that.
We talked about it, but it's been a non-written policy, and I think it's going to have to change. But
If they want those areas.
I still think before we're interested in sitting down, we've got to get answers to the questions we sent.
yeah,
If
no,
they're
there was
serious.
a lot of areas that I had some. It's like, why are you including this? Why are you including this? And we talked about most of those areas, maybe not quite all of them, but there was a lot of areas too that it's like, okay, well, I can see your point here, and yeah, you're already annexing ground out in here, so yeah, it probably makes sense to be here. When it comes to things like the bicycle path or the green belt up and down the river, and having them maintain control of at least 100-foot pathway along both sides of the river from 81st north to 81st south.
But they can't maintain control that they don't have, which they don't have anyway.
Well, they don't have it, but they want to have that, and that's why they included it in their area of impact.
Yeah, that's their whole reason for.
But what control does that
But even
give
if it's in the area of impact, they don't have any control on it. That's why I kept telling them, if you want something done, you need to come up with an agreement, because
And
just putting it on the map does nothing for
there's
you.
nothing, yeah.
Speaking of that area, have you looked at the sidewalks out by, do you look at those?
We typically get along the public improvements, yeah.
Out on Gateway?
Yeah, I haven't looked at them recently, but that was part of when
So,
we get better weather, we get to do another walkthrough, and that's why that overall warranty is for 2 years for the non-asphalt and 7 years for the asphalt.
so we went out there yesterday, cause the pump house, there's something wrong with the pump house, was just spewing water out of the side of it. So Ron and I went out to talk to, Oakland, but they've poured a lot of that sidewalk along Gateway. You can see where they've poured, that they've put heating blankets under, they've poured, then they've stopped, then the next day they come to pour, it's already doing this.
Yeah, we had,
And we were looking at it yesterday, and Ron's like, I'm glad I don't have to inspect that, because it wouldn't be very pretty, but you can tell that it's just, there's areas where it's already sinking. Because it's like they put the heating blankets under and then they took them off, and then the next day, I don't know, but
we'll drive out there.
it's
and
pretty
see.
bad.
That was one of the items we couldn't see much of, and made sure to put in that conditional acceptance that we get to do another inspection in, I think it was August or something like that.
Yeah. And same thing, I hadn't really been out there since the road was all melted off, but
Is it all melted off now? I guess?
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
Okay. Well,
It's a
okay.
pretty good patch job.
That doesn't surprise me.
There's a
Really?
big seam all the way down the middle of it, basically, once you turn on it all the way to the back of Amazon.
And those seams were terrible, and that's one of the, that's one of the things we talked about early on, is like, it's gonna hold water, it's going to fall apart, it's gonna pothole up.
So where'd you end up with Devin on
Well, we ended up with doing the conditional acceptance, but we have a 7-year warranty. That's what he wanted to talk to you about, getting out of jail free. It's like, no, right now, the 7 years is, I think we're gonna have significant problems on the asphalt.
it? Well, he certainly knows that, sees that.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, if it's that bad, he realizes that's gotta be redone. Might as
I
well-
don't think he wants to realize that. I
Yeah.
think he wants the county to accept the responsibility.
Yeah,
And so does Oakland, because they don't wanna be part of it.
that's too bad. Nice area down there, they go and do that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do some work on those sidewalks, I can guarantee it. It's,
Hmm.
you can just see how they're already just everywhere.
Well, wouldn't he have warranty on whoever laid it? Was that HK?
He'll probably have a 1-year warranty on Oakland construction.
Oh, in Oakland, that's right. Well, they better get it done then.
Well, and that's, we probably oughta, we'll go take a look at it, but we'll try to get with Devin and say, Devin, you need to go out and look at this too.
Yeah, and you better get this warranty.
Well,
when
they
you
said
go
that
there.
Devin was out there yesterday looking at the pump house. So he was out, I would imagine he looked at it when he was out there, but yeah,
Sometimes.
I don't know what's
I'm not
wrong with
sure
the
Devin-
pump
What
house.
Devin looks at. Cause I've seen him talk about certain things before, and it's like, Devin, this is bad. And he, I don't know, he seems to gloss over it, but.
Is
I mean, and I-
Amazon in there yet?
yeah,
They're
so they have a
operating.
temp CO. So they're not gonna.
They're not operating.
They're not operating till 1st of April, but they're in there building racking and getting things set up.
Okay.
They've taken over from Oakland, but
And Oakland's
I was
probably
talking to
still there.
Ron about the sidewalks and stuff yesterday and some of the finish work, and said, it's just too bad that they just keep rushing on some of this stuff. They should just wait until it's a little nicer. And Ron was saying, I think he's probably talked to the Oakland guys a little bit, that they've got a bunch of other jobs lined up. So they'll keep saying, well, hey, if we're done here, we're going to our other job. So that he thinks that Devin's trying to kind of rush them along to keep them working so they don't leave and go to their other job and not get it done. But anyways,
It's a problem.
Us as a road bridge.
Huh?
Us as a road bridge. Okay.
I was gonna update Austin on the road too, since he was here, that's why I thought I'd wait.
we're done with road